Metaphysics is the area of philosophy that deals with questions of the nature of reality. Let's consider the word reality. What are some words that one might use as a synonym for reality? Here's one: existent. Here's another: the universe. And here's a third that is a bit less common: being. That is, being with a capital B. When we use words like this, reality, existence, the universe, being with a capital B, what are we talking about? Anytime we use these terms, we are talking about all that is. Everything, no exceptions, the whole, the total. What is real? What exists? The universe encompasses everything. Does it make sense to say something exists, something is real, without saying that thing is part of the universe? The term being, when used with a capital B, means simply that which is, that which has existence, that which is real. So immediately we see that there's a bit of a confusion when people start saying things like this: I have my reality, you have your reality, he or she have their reality, they, a group, have one reality, versus another group having another reality. This use of the term reality is not the use of the term reality in philosophical metaphysics. This confused use of the term reality actually means perspective. My perspective on the world versus your perspective on the world versus his perspective or her perspective, our perspective or their perspective. This use of the term denotes one possible way of seeing things where other ways are equally possible. But notice this: in order to identify different perspectives, one needs some reference point by which they can be understood as perspectives. In other words, there needs to be something that is whole, total, complete, and mind-independent, against which the varying perspectives can be assessed such that we can say that they are different perspectives on the same thing. In metaphysics, when we consider reality, existence, the universe, or being with a capital B, we are considering that on which one could possibly have different perspectives. But what is the whole? What is that which is real, that which exists, that which is, about which one could have varying perspectives? So do please keep in mind as we move forward that the philosophers that we read are not just intending to give their pure opinion, that is, their pure personal perspective on the nature of reality. They are seeking reasons for believing that the nature of reality is this way or that way, not just for themselves, not just because they like it, but because there are good reasons for every rational person to believe it, to be convinced of it. This doesn't mean that there is no room for personal opinions, for pure personal perspectives. It just means that that's not all there is. Our opinions, our personal perspectives, exist in some kind of, fancy word, intersubjective context, some context in which we can look at them in relation to that which exists, and here's another important fancy word, extramentally. That is, that which exists beyond the mind, that which is not a pure product of perspective. If all there was to reality was just pure perspective, and that is all, Notice the implication. Anyone who says anything would just be talking to him or herself, and there's really there would really be no recognition of another person, another mind, any idea of another person or another mind would just be a product of one's own mind. Thus, one would be in some kind of self-sealed, here's another word, another valuable term, solipsistic system from which there would be no escape. So I'd like to introduce some basic words, some basic terms for different types of metaphysical views. These terms are going to be with us through the remainder of the semester. They're quite important terms. And we're going to see a number of different variations as as we look at different views about metaphysics. Okay, so let me just lay out the terms first, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail about each one. Monism, pluralism, dualism, materialism, idealism. The first three, monism and dualism, are terms for how many substances reality consists in. The remaining two, materialism and idealism, are terms for what type of substance exists. Monism is the term for the idea that reality consists of, no surprise, a single substance. According to monism, and there are different types of monism, all of reality is ultimately reducible or understandable in terms of a single type of substance. Pluralism, as you'll certainly know from your basic knowledge of grammar, pluralism is the idea that reality consists of more than one different type of substance. Notice, neither monism nor pluralism, as such, spell out what those substances are. There is a variation on pluralism called dualism, and this is going to be quite an important term going forward. Dualism is the idea that reality consists of two fundamental different types of substances. Materialism is the term for the idea that reality consists of physical substance and nothing else. Matter, and that's it. Idealism is the name for the view that reality consists of ideas and nothing else. That is, the mental is all that there is. The relationships of the how many words, monism, pluralism, and dualism, is obvious. If one is a monist, one's not a pluralist. If one's a pluralist, one's not a monist. A pluralist could be a dualist, but a pluralist is not necessarily committed to the claim that there are only two types of substance in reality. The relationship between the what the substance is type of terms, materialism and idealism, is a bit more complex and subtle. If one is a materialist, one must give an account of that which doesn't seem to be material. If one is an idealist, one must give an account of that which does seem material. If one makes the claim that both matter and ideas are real, then one must account for their relationship. This relationship is particularly important when one considers a common way in which the relationship between the material and the ideal are both posited. That is the question of what's the relationship between mind and body. If we accept body, the physical, as real, and we accept mind, the mental, as real, then in what way are the two related?